Hi, welcome to Nursing Tutorials with Jura. In today's lesson, we'll be looking at the classification of the nervous system. Thank you. For a better understanding of the nervous system, it is good we classify it or divide it into its subdivisions. First of all, broadly, the nervous system can be divided into the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system, if you look at the diagram of the nervous system, it's located at the center, and from there you have the peripheral aspects of the nervous system. So, the basically the central nervous system consists of the brain and the spinal cord. These two structures make up the nervous system. And it is from these two structures any impulse coming to the central nervous system is processed. All the informations they are processed, whatever signals coming from the sensory organs, they are processed in the brain and the spinal cord. Also, the brain and the spinal cord, after processing information, sends back the information to the effector organs or to skeletal muscles or to smooth muscles through the peripheral nerves. So the brain and the spinal cord act as the information processing unit of the nervous system. The brain and the spinal cord is surrounded by meninges. That's what protects them. And they dwell in the cerebrospinal fluid. In subsequent videos, we'll be talking about the meninges and the cerebrospinal fluid. Secondly, we have the peripheral nervous system. This is the distal part of the nervous system, which consists majorly of nerve fibers. It's what this is an extension of from the extend from the central nervous system down to the extremities of the body or to different organs. Now, the peripheral nervous system is divided or is made up of the sensory or the afferent division and the motor or the efferent division. The sensory division brings in nerves, sensory nerves, or the sensory nerves bring in information or impulses from organs like the heart, the stomach, in fact, various parts of the body, and sends it to the central nervous system, which is comprised of the brain and the spinal cord. So, the sensory division is also known as afferent division. This afferent division, if for easy memory, we can say A, arrive, meaning that if you want to remember, you just look at the A part and say, okay, this means information is arriving the brain and the spinal cord. So for easy remembrance, we say A stands for arrive. That is how you will be able to remember it. Now the next part is the motor division or the efferent division. You can say E stands for evacuate. We are not talking of the literal meaning of evacuation, just for remembrance sake. I'll say evacuate. So anytime you see efferent, you know you are dealing with motor nerves. Now, what are their function? Their function is to take information or impulses away from the central nervous system and supply it both the involuntary and the voluntary impulses, both the ones we can control and the ones we cannot control. So that's the function of these two divisions. Furthermore, we can divide the motor divisions into two. We have the autonomic nervous system, which is also known as the involuntary aspect of the nervous system. Then you have the somatic nervous system, also voluntary. Now, the autonomic nervous system deals with nerves that brings in information from the central nervous system down to smooth muscles, to glands like the sweat glands, gastric glands, salivary glands, and other glands. and smooth muscles, even the cardiac muscles, the muscles responsible for our heart. So all these nerves are classified under autonomic nervous system. Secondly, we have the somatic nervous system. Somatic deals with nerves of nerve fibers or information or impulses that we can control. That's the major point there. The somatic nervous system deals with voluntary information or voluntary impulses, meaning that we can control. And if you observe, majorly, we can control our extremities. We can control movement. For example, I want to raise my hand. All I have to do is to lift up my hand. And if I want to bring it down, I bring it down. All this happens within split seconds. So that's the somatic nervous system. It deals with informations that flow from the central nervous system down to the peripheral nervous system that can be controlled by the human being when conscious. For the autonomic nervous system, we can further subdivide it into the sympathetic and the parasympathetic division. Remember that the autonomic nervous system deals with information that can't be controlled, that we don't have power over. Now, it's now divided into the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. So, meaning that this sympathetic division helps us in the aspect of danger, where there is danger or when there is an unwanted situation. That's when the sympathetic nervous system is activated. Now, if you look here, we wrote here, we have flight, fight, or even fright. The function of the sympathetic nervous system is to put us in a flight mode. So the sympathetic nervous system puts us in a flight mode or a fight mode or a fright mode, meaning that we become afraid or we fight the situation. So whenever you are anxious or you are in a mood of you want to fight something, the sympathetic division is activated. In that case, person begins to consume more energy. The heart begins to demand for excess energy so as to meet up with the oxygen demand in the body. And with that, the person is able to, the person is able to fight. The blood vessels become constricted, and with that, the person is prepared to either escape, flight, or fight the situation, or fright, become afraid. In the opposite direction, when you are in a state of rest, everything is going as you planned, everything is calm, no danger, no harsh situation. At that point, you are dealing with rest. Digestion also takes place. That's when the body begins to digest food substances. So at that point, the parasympathetic division of the nervous system is activated. So these two act in antagonistic manner. They act in an opposite manner. And there are neurotransmitters that are responsible to bring out the occurrence of these two. In subsequent videos, we'll be looking at some of these neurotransmitters. So, in summary, this is a classification of the nervous system. Next time, we'll be looking at other aspects of the nervous system. So, if you've not subscribed, please subscribe and watch this video for more information. Thank you for watching and do have a wonderful day.